What is going on, guys? Redox here, and like the last video, Sony music player review, I actually was not editing it properly because I had some problems with my system, and now most probably it's been rectified, so I can get together to making more videos. So today, what we're going to look at is technology moves forward. Old devices become obsolete faster than ever. If you are going to the Android marketplace, which is most probably everybody, you are not going to get supported for more than 2 years max. So, as technology moves forward, we have to look at how old technology fares in today's marketplace, and this is the OnePlus 2. This is a device that was launched in 2015, termed 2016 flagship killer, and I'm here to figure out how well it fares in 2018. And yeah, let's get on with the video. So if you guys are enjoying these kinds of videos where I do tech reviews and also I try out different kinds of editing, please tell me in the comments if you guys want me to go back to space videos. I can also do that. And okay, so a lot of you guys watched my Sony unboxing video, and not as much as that, but you guys also watched my review video, and there was a lot of comments, and I usually reply to all the comments I get. So let's get on to this video where I look at it, whether the OnePlus 2 is a good device in 2018. So I just wanted to give you this heads up. I'm going to try different styles of editing with each and every video. So yeah, let's get on with the video. So from a physical damage standpoint, this device has had its fair share of drops. So I have owned this device from early 2016. And it has had a few drops, which has left a little bit of scuffs here and there on the metal ridges, and the tempered glass also has a kind of a big crack on it, and sorry for the fingerprints. But internally the device is all good. There's no damage, physical damage to the camera, significant damage to the camera, back camera, front camera, both. Yeah, there's not that much of damage. And also to any other part like the speakers or the headphone jack or even the micro USB Type-C port. So so this device is not fragile. It can withstand a few drops. So let's look at how fast it is in today's world. So before moving on with anything, I just have to say that this device is still running Android 6.0.1. It was never supported more. It's running on OS 3.6.1 and is on the security patch level October 2017. And right now it's April 2018, so this device is over. The support for this device is over. So you have to go to the root and modding to get to higher versions of Android. So this thing is 4 gigs of RAM and is powered by an underclocked Snapdragon 810, because when the Snapdragon 810 was launched, it had some few like heat issues, cooling issues, and that's why Samsung actually, for their S6, they actually went with their Exynos chip for worldwide. Well, OnePlus was, if we're gonna clock it, it's gonna be better. Okay, if you're gonna clock it, it's not gonna blow up, but it's gonna be slower than what it should be, and that impacts the longevity of the device. So right now, everything's kind of slow. The YouTube app is really slow, and from yesterday I was trying to film this, and when I was watching a YouTube video, I noticed this weird issue. I don't think it's here now, but the video was not in sync with the audio.
Would you believe, looking at this sign, that it was only 7 months?
I guess the reboot fixed it kind of, but yesterday it had a weird issue where the audio was not in sync with the video, even when I put on headphones or private Bluetooth headphones or even use the speaker itself. So if you look at the gaming aspect, let me just move on to a game. So we have started off with Survival Craft 2. Well, yeah, that means, yeah, I don't want that. So let's go to settings and let's go to graphics. Okay, not there, performance. And I've set the visibility range to highest because it recommends a 4 gig RAM phone, and this has 4 gigs of RAM and a very fast device recommended. I I won't say it's a very fast device, but it was a flagship though. So let's also have the frame rate counter on there, and let's just jump into a world quickly. And let's just go there. Okay, you can see the frame rate up here. It's 16 frames per second right now, and it's at 35. So let's just get out of this place, and let's just start flying. What? How do I fly up? Okay, I have to move. Okay, you can see that I haven't played this game a lot at all. Let me just keep it in frame. And yeah, we're high up in the air, and the frame rate is actually 15 frames per second. This should handle this well. It's just 3 years old. Other devices are handling this well. This is a CPU limited issue, which is because of this was underclocked. But when you play on an old device, don't expect it to do well in the highest settings and the highest everything. So if you drop it about like here, 256 blocks, where I recommend 2 gig RAM, and then you start up, it actually runs at quite an acceptable 30 frames per second. Okay, was running at 30 frames per second. Yeah, it's 19. So like, you don't want to do this if you play in like survival mode in Minecraft or something like that, where you can't fly, you can't view a lot. Let me just turn off that. Well, down on the ground, you actually get a playable, let me just get it to focus, 34 frames per second. And that is good. Actually, there's a lot of drops, but that is good for such an old device. Let me just walk forward. There's something wrong with the game, I'd say. So you can play games, but not at the highest settings. You have to drop them a bit lower if there's adjustment sliders, and if it's just gonna adjust itself, it's gonna adjust itself to kind of a low preset, because this is an old device. Well, so moving on to the benchmarks, let's just, I have to install a benchmark. So let me be like, okay, Antutu, yes, install. Install this also, yeah, 149 megabytes. Yeah, I'll be back when this finishes installing. So after about 5 minutes, it's finally finished installing, I guess. Yeah, it did. Okay, so let's benchmark this device. Well, it's the only app running, and it says CPU 28% right now. It's dropped. So yeah, let's just test. It's verifying resources right now. Yeah, let me just get back to it when the test ends. I may have not used Antutu in a long time, so I don't know what it's doing right now. It's Coastline, I guess. I have not used this in a long time. Yeah, that. Yeah, I'll just say why that happens in a few minutes. So yeah, I'll get back to it, or well, I just want to show this. So yeah, let me know audio, just video for you guys. By the way, it's running at 1080p, OpenGL 3.1. I just need Vulkan. Vulkan is better, I guess. I know. Yeah, no audio from now on. So as you guys can see, we just have a score of 79,950, and the CPU defeated 9%. GPU is much faster, so the GPU is actually the most powerful part of this. And if you notice, like, it just took me about 8 odd minutes, and in 8 minutes my battery went from 27 to 4. So that is something worth noting. So let's move on to the display and other things, because it's going to die. So now to the things that matter. This device has a 5.5-inch 1080p IPS LCD display, and it came at a time when devices were switching from 1080p to Quad HD, that is 2516 to 1440, while this came at 1920 by 1080. So people were extremely skeptical about this because OnePlus termed it as the flagship killer and it lacked in the display department. But they gave a really good reason: battery life. All these smartphones with the Quad HD displays, they were new technology, so they were not. So the phones were also looking good, so they had to be thinned out, so the battery capacity was not big there, so the battery life was not good. But here, this had a 1080p display, and it was quite kind of thick, so it had a kind of a big battery, 3500 milliamp battery, and that was good. The battery life was good compared to those. That's why OnePlus decided to go with an 1080p display. And the viewing angles in that is great because it's the IPS technology, so the viewing angles are great. The color reproduction is great, but if you compare it with Samsung smartphones displays, Samsung has AMOLED, and they basically oversaturate everything. So if you compare it to that, it's gonna not look good, but it is natural, this display. So I have not experienced any issues with this display as of right now, and it's still going strong. Actually, I covered it with the tempered glass, and it actually had a fall where the tempered glass broke, but not the display itself. And the main reason why I have this phone lying around still, why I have not sold it, is because of the camera also. The camera is a really good camera for what it is. It is a 1080p 4K capable optical image stabilized video camera, and also 30 megapixel good photo camera. So if you just want to take a really good shot in great lighting conditions, it is going to do well. You won't notice it is from a 3-year-old device. But when you move to low light, that's where things get kind of noisy, in the sense digital noise, because nowadays the newer smartphones like the Samsung Galaxy S9, it has a movable shutter, so it can adapt from f2.2 to f1.9, so therefore it lets more light in, so those low light photographs are better. And even the S7 and S8, they kind of have better low light capabilities than this. So but kind of every digital sensor has some problems with low light, and this also has its fair share. The processing makes the image a lot noisy. The auto ISO cranks it up high, which also makes the noise much more perceptible. And well, yeah, video under low light conditions, it's not the best thing you can do. You can control with manual settings so you'll get a kind of a good looking video, but it's not going to do extremely well under low light. But if you take it out in broad sunlight or under studio lighting conditions, it's going to look good. It's gonna look great actually. I actually was planning to use this as my main video recording device when then I realized I had the S7. So it's kind of it's newer device, so I thought it'd be better at video. But still, this can be the video from that is still good. It records at 4K 30 frames per second, 1080p 30, and it also has 1080p 60 slow motion features. And I'd say slow motion is best to be used under bright lights because it is kind of dark if you use it under normal lighting conditions. And the overall experience, it has, for some reason, the battery doesn't stay on. Like if you look at the benchmarking thing, when I started it, it was at 27%. Okay, at 10 minutes into it just died. During the video shoots, it just died. The phone completely dead. This battery is not stood up well due to the frequent charge and discharge cycles. That is normal. That's a normal thing that happens to all kinds of smartphones. Every device that has battery, lithium-ion battery, it loses strength with every charge discharge cycle. Speakers, well, they are kind of they don't sound as good as they did when they were new. There's some aging artifacts in them. You can't cramp the volume up too high. If you do that, you will hear some crackling, I'd say. So the speakers are kind of okay, I'd say, and the Wi-Fi connectivity, everything else has been good. Bluetooth, network connectivity, Wi-Fi, it's all good. But the one place where you notice this device's age is in the display and also the Android entire UI. This is still running on Marshmallow, and now we're gonna get Android P soon, so it's gonna get more obsolete. And so the latest applications will not run on it properly. As you notice, as I was looking at playing PUBG on this PUBG Mobile, but it won't even show up because of the Android operating system level, and it's going to be more vulnerable to viruses if you're installing APKs. So I won't recommend you buy this device new now, but if you have it lying around, you can still use it as your daily. It's not going to be extremely impacted. It's not going to be using a Motorola Dynatac today. You won't even get any kind of connectivity, but you can still use this. This is still a viable device. It is fast enough to handle our daily needs like Instagram, all the other things, and it's also fast enough to do other things like that involve a little bit of grunt, like image processing. And I also tried Filmora Go in this, which is basically a video editing application, and it was quite fast. But I have to mention this right now. One major drawback with this, when it was even new, was the heating issues. I said that this thing has a Snapdragon 810 that was underclocked from 2.2 GHz to 1.8 GHz because of the heating issues. But still it gets hot. The device has metal frame, so metal conducts heat a lot. So whenever you try to do anything, if you try to film video handheld, you're gonna end up with your hands like kind of hot because the phone gets really hot, and during the benchmark also the phone got really toasty. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you're going to use this from now on, because it heats up a lot. That was a problem from the first, and it's still a problem. And the Oxygen OS UI is not the best preferable UI. It lags a lot. There's some bugs here and there. It's not been updated in a long time, so there are a lot of bugs here and there. But overall, say the experience was good. But if you are looking at buying this device used or new, I would not recommend this because this device is no longer supported, unfortunately. But if you just have it lying around in your house and you just want to try using it, it's gonna work perfectly fine. So yeah, I rate it on a 4.5. That's a pretty acceptable score for something that is so old. That's it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This is Redox signing off.